Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and since I've been growing pretty rapidly recently, I figured it would be fun to do a little Q&A just so you guys can kind of get to know me a little bit better. I posted in my community page and asked you guys to ask me questions that could be about myself or men's fashion or whatever the heck your heart desires, so I'm going to answer some of those today. My first question is, what got you started and how do you stay consistent? So my boyfriend is also a YouTuber, so just seeing him live this life and be able to interact with so many people all over the world and help people out is something that really piqued my interest. And when you see your significant other living their dream and doing something that they are really passionate about, it makes you want that for yourself too. And to be completely transparent, I was not happy at my corporate job. I just felt like I wasn't getting the fulfillment out of it that I wanted out of my life and my job. So I decided to start posting on YouTube, and while it's a grind and it's really hard and it's a ton of work, it's so rewarding when I post a video and I get a comment saying how much I've helped you guys out, or just any kind of feedback from you guys that is positive. Just makes me feel so good and fulfilled, and I'm so thankful for that. And with the consistency, I think, you know, not everyone feels motivated 24/7. There have been weeks on my channel when I was super swamped at work, working 9 hours a day, and then coming home and trying to do YouTube all night, and I got burnt out. It's not about necessarily being motivated. I think it's about just making promises to yourself, keeping them, and keeping in mind that the harder you work now, the easier it's going to be for you later. The decisions you make right now affect where you are a year from now. So I just try to remind myself of that when I'm feeling a little bit less motivated than normal, and just keep pushing forward. So my next question is, what was your professional journey before YouTube? So really exciting news. I actually just put in my 2 weeks at my full-time job on Monday. So I'll be doing YouTube full-time starting next week. And I am so thankful, so excited. It's literally a dream come true. I am on cloud 9 about it. So just wanted to thank all of you for making this possible for me. Like I said, it's my absolute dream and I am already so much happier. I can't wait to start putting out more content for you guys. Full-time me being on YouTube means more content for you guys, so it's a win for everybody. But I did get a lot of questions about my background, where I went to school, all that kind of stuff. So I went to Kent State University and I graduated in 2018 with a degree in fashion merchandising. So I'm not just some random girl posting on YouTube that researches all her stuff. I actually have a good base knowledge and know a good amount about fashion. I went to school for it, I have a degree for it, and I absolutely love it. It's something I've been really into my whole entire life, which is why I decided to pursue it in college. So I'm really happy with my choice to do that. While after college, working at my first job, I questioned it a little bit. Now that I am on this path and doing YouTube and able to help all of you out there, it really has made it clear to me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So my first job out of college, I was working on a sales account for a home organization company, and then my second job, I transitioned within the company to a more creative role, and I was a photography stylist. So another question is, at what age did you decide you wanted to start helping men out with fashion? So I've always kind of been the friend in the group where all my guy friends would come to me for fashion advice, style advice. I would help my dad pick out his clothes for things. So it's kind of been something that I've done forever, but now just really making it more of a full-time thing, and I'm enjoying every second of it. A lot of people have asked, why a men's channel? Why not a women's channel? And while I do love women's fashion, I already help all my friends out with that didn't go to fashion school. Just, I think the lack of women talking about men's fashion was kind of a no-brainer for me. It's mostly men talking about men's fashion and women talking about women's fashion, which totally makes sense, but I think it's refreshing and nice to see the opposite side of it as well. So my next question is, would you prefer nice guys or bad boys? And the answer is 100%, without a doubt, don't even have to think about it, nice guys. I think every girl goes through a stage where she dates the bad boy. She dates the life ruiner, as I call them. We all have one of them. It's someone that, you know, you date for a while and then you get over the way that they treat you, the habits they have. I don't know what you're considering a bad boy, but when I think bad boy, I just automatically think of someone that is going to ruin my life. So definitely the nice guy in my situation. But I think the term bad boy is really so silly. I don't know if you're defining bad boy as someone that's just wearing a leather jacket or someone who is actually a bad boy and not treating you the way you deserve to be treated. In that case, obviously the nice guy always wins. And I also want to point out, I think there's such a negative connotation associated with being a nice guy, and I think that this has got to stop. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a nice guy. There is such a big difference between being a nice guy and being what people call a simp. giving all of yourself to someone that is giving you nothing in return is obviously something that I wouldn't recommend to anyone. Whether you're a girl or a guy, you shouldn't be investing in a person who's giving nothing back to you. But I think being just a nice person, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I wish that people would stop making it such a negative thing. My next question is dating advice for teenage guys. I think when you're a teenager, it's so important to date different people and just experiment with what you like in a person, what you don't like in a person, what you want your future partner to be like, what you don't want them to be like. And I think your teenage years is a perfect time to do this. I know some people meet their soulmate when they're in high school, and that's great, but if I was with my high school sweetheart, I would be in a much different place right now, and I'm glad that didn't happen. I think it's just really important to figure out what you like as you get older, so that when you are in your 20s and your 30s, you have a pretty good idea of the things that you want in a partner and the things that you don't. And just speaking from personal experience, I can say that I learned a lot about that from dating in my teen years. My next question is how to attract a girl's attention. So this is going to totally depend on the girl that you're trying to attract, but for the majority, I would say the moment when you start focusing on yourself, when you better yourself, when you are comfortable with who you are, comfortable being alone, that is when girls start to notice you, because you're doing big things, you're successful, you're doing your thing, and you don't care what anyone thinks, and girls like that. Girls like someone that is confident in themselves, that knows what they want, and if you're doing all those things that I mentioned, you're probably going to be that guy. Think to yourself less about what you're doing to attract a girl and just focus on yourself, and the girls will come to you. This next question is a really good question, and I actually got so many questions that were similar to this one. So this one says, what's your advice for guys on adapting to their receding hairlines and balding? How can you still be stylish and fashionable? Speaking from my personal experience, I have a couple very close guy friends who started balding really early in life. They have receding hairlines, they were losing their hair, and so they decided to just shave their head. And honestly, they look so much better just embracing that. I think a lot of guys hold on to this for far too long, and you know, some guys are 50 with a full head of hair and other guys have a hairline that's all the way back here. That's okay, we're all different. I think it's okay to be different than the person next to you, but just embrace where you're at. Everyone's at a different place. Don't compare yourself to other people. I think honestly in this case, it's better to just embrace it and be confident. Don't wear a hat every day to cover it up. It's just going to make you look like you're insecure. I think it's better to just bite the bullet and shave your head. And if you are thinking, I will never shave my head, I can't shave my head, I have an ugly head bald, I don't know, maybe you have an egg head, I'm not sure. But there are a lot of medical procedures now that you can get done if you are in a place where you can afford that and maybe you're thinking about it. There are so many options for guys now. They have all these different things you can do to make your hair grow back, to make it be thicker, all kinds of stuff. So if you're into that too, you can definitely look into that. But if you're at a place where you cannot currently afford to get those procedures done, then I would say just shave your head. And the most important thing about this is to just be confident. You care more about it than anyone else around you. I have learned that the hard way. I used to always care what everybody thought, and then I realized to myself, you care more than anyone else cares. And the second you realize that is the second you stop caring. My next question is, what's the best way to handle a situation in which your wife or girlfriend likes for you to wear things that you don't feel fit your style? So while I think it's important to be attracted to the person that you're with, I think it's also something that you can't force someone to wear something. Your wife cannot make you wear something because she likes it. Me, I like to personally wear things that I know that Teddy likes, but if I absolutely hated things he was picking out for me, I would just be honest and tell him, I hate that. And he would, appreciate me for me and not want me to wear things that I don't feel comfortable in. So if they want you to wear things that, maybe you don't feel comfortable in, you don't feel like it's your style, I think it's best to just be honest. Give it a try, maybe wear it if she bought it for you. And if you don't like it, just be honest and tell her that. Fashion is one of those things where I think we often dress for other people, but at the end of the day, I think it's more important to feel comfortable and happy with what you're wearing, because you're the one that has to wear it. Your wife doesn't have to wear it. Your girlfriend doesn't have to wear it. And if you wear something she bought you all day just because you think she likes it, but you don't feel comfortable in it, you're the one that has to suffer from that. So wear the things that you like, even if it's something that, maybe isn't necessarily her favorite. Maybe you guys can come to some kind of compromise. Don't keep wearing things you don't like just to appease someone else. So my next question is another question that I had a ton of, so I figured I had to answer it. It is, may I ask how tall you are, and does height matter in dating, or how short is too short? So I am 5'5", so I'm pretty average. The most honest answer I can give you for this one is that some girls really care about height and some girls don't care at all. I personally dated a guy that was like an inch taller than me, and it only bothered me when he was insecure about it and made me feel bad. It's normally not an issue unless you make it an issue, so just be confident. You can't make yourself taller, you can't make yourself shorter, so you're stuck with the height you are, so just be confident and embrace it. I think that confidence is the most important thing in this situation, and like I said, she's probably not going to care unless you're the one that's insecure about it and make it a big deal. My next question is, do you think that kids/teens should care about fashion, or is that just an adult thing? So I don't think it's necessarily about caring about fashion. I think it's more about caring about the way that you present yourself, always trying to be the best version of yourself. And I think for a lot of people, fashion is the way to do that. So I know for me personally, when I am dressed better, when I look better, I just feel better inside. I know not everyone is that way, but if you're someone that does care about that and you feel better when you look better, then I would say, yeah, you should care about it and spend a little extra time in the way that you look and the way that you present yourself. At the end of the day, like I said, I think it's important to just try to be your best self and the best version of you that you can be, and sometimes fashion helps out with that. I also think the more you care when you're younger, then the more you care when you're older as well, and it comes a lot more natural and easier for you. And often when you're an adult, you're in more situations when you do need to know a little bit more and care a little bit more about the way that you present yourself. So it definitely doesn't hurt getting interested at a young age. If you feel like no one around you is, but you are, there's nothing wrong with that. So my last question is, what are your pet peeves when you look at male or female grooming/style channels on YouTube? I'm pretty new to the game, so I want to be nice. I think there's a couple of them. I think when people have their channels for a long time, you know, you get more brand deals, you get all these things, you get your own product line. It's common for them to kind of lose touch a little bit with their audience, and they're almost just trying to sell you things more than they're actually trying to help you. And that's really frustrating for me. I know I'm not a huge channel, but I want to help you guys, and I don't ever want to try to sell you guys something that I don't think is good. And I think a lot of people do that, and it's really frustrating to see as a content creator, just because then the audience sees that and they think that we all do it. There's always that bad apple that kind of ruins it for everyone, so you don't want to see other people in your space making those mistakes, because it kind of makes everyone look bad. I'm always going to be honest and transparent about all of that. I'm not going to try to sell you guys something or make you guys buy something that I don't think is good. Alright guys, that concludes my little Q&A. I could definitely have answered more questions. I got around 500 of them, but I didn't want to make the video too long. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.